All right, well, today is the day. The Avant, it's my little pointer, is going today. I just unburst it from the driveway. I burst it from the driveway because it was in a snowbank, as you can see. Chris is on his way up here, I guess, with a V6 S4. And I don't know if you've seen his videos or not, but he's done a lot to that car. And I don't think he wants to deal with selling it. So we can deal with selling it because that's what we do. Had the exhaust fixed in this thing and it sounds so bad with the stock exhaust to me. But I don't know, this thing's been, with the exception of the alternator issue at the beginning of winter, the day after I bought it, this thing has gotten through pretty much everything we've thrown at it this winter, and no progression of that rust. So I'll be kind of sad to see this one go, but it's going to get us towards the R8, so that's what matters. It's going to be exciting. Yeah, so we got the Motegi track lights all in the car. I don't even think I showed you guys those. Kind of cool. We came with the Jerry GLI, which has kind of its own story. Nope. He has arrived. All right, so you've had this for how long?
A year and some change. I bought it in December of 23.
And you've ripped out the transmission, or you bought it without a transmission?
I bought it without a trans, but I had a 0A3 in my garage, so I thought it was like, oh, that's perfect. I found one without a transmission, but then I realized it was missing like everything else, so I had to do the notorious 4.2 timing chains, and then like all the gaskets and seals minus the head gaskets. And
wasn't there like a tiny clip? Was it a clip or a piece that was missing that was causing like? I'd have to go back.
Oh,
there was something on the bell housing, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was the crank angle sensor.
Yeah.
It was just like it looks at where the flex plate is, and it wasn't there, so I had to find another one and put it in there, and then I did like all the coolant hoses, all the suspension. It has like all the bushings were like completely shot, so new subframes, lower control arms, upper control arms, rear sway bar. It's got the big brake kit, obviously new rotors with that, and clutch and flywheel. All that. It was a much bigger project than I thought it was going to be, and it was really exciting at first, and then it wasn't. But
what are your plans with that?
So that one for right now is just going to be a fuel efficient daily for me, because I daily a Q7 to and from work like 80 miles one way, and it's like 17 miles per gallon. So it'll just be nice to have 30 mpg, and then once spring hits, I think I'll manual swap it. Or I know someone who's selling a B8 S4 soon, so we'll see if I can maybe try my hand at doing an Avant S4. But I don't know, we'll see. I have other projects to worry about first, but yeah, I'm excited. And the 2.0 is like, that's my bread and butter. So
you might be the only one.
Yeah, yeah. So like I'm confident to have that, even if something goes wrong. I have an extra engine, I have an extra turbo, so. We have a 2005, I think. I'd have to look. 05, 04, maybe 03. B6 S4 with a lot done to it. And Chris is just done with it. You know, he wanted a car that he could track and is planning on doing some cool stuff to the B8. And he likes the 2 liters, not the 4.2s. So I'm gonna take this thing for a spin real quick and hopefully not fall in love with it, because I mean, we have to keep moving. I don't know how in frame this is gonna be, but I'm gonna do a cold start on this thing because I really haven't done that yet, and I want to hear what it sounds like outside the car. I gotta move it 3 inches forward, so let's see.
Shit's gonna break anyway. We're gonna go on a mission probably today to find a buyer for this and or trade for something. What I would really like to do is trade both this and the Golf R, not the GLI, for a Raptor or something along those lines, because I feel like getting into these specialty vehicles, whether it's an S4, S3, Golf R, it's getting harder and harder to find people to trade for, so we're gonna have to get into still a specialty vehicle, but not a Euro. I don't do videos in front of people.
Well, you're gonna have to get the fuck over it. You invited me, so I'm not gonna get out.
We're waiting in the car because this guy isn't here and was supposed to be here at 23 minutes ago. No. 33 minutes ago, and just hasn't shown up. I've texted him and no response. Yeah, so we're gonna give it 5 more minutes and call him, and he said he was on his way with a chase car and was picking the Golf up later this week with the transport, but he's not here. So I'm just gonna assume he's not coming. We're gonna call him in a minute, and if he doesn't answer, we're gonna leave. Well, ETA 35 minutes from now. We are currently waiting on the next trade deal to arrive. This thing just started without issue, surprising. It didn't idle. It wouldn't idle, right? But it's been sitting for 2 weeks also, as you can see here. Besides that, I don't know, once it was idling right, it was fine. Obviously it's blown clutch, so it doesn't go into gear very easy. But now we're just waiting on the next trade to show up. It's kind of sad because I do enjoy a Golf R. Also, which Liv is sitting in. She's in there. So hopefully with this deal, it'll be this and the vehicle that's coming to replace that. 2-for-1 deal, hopefully. I will give you guys a hint when we're getting. Just kidding, I'm not going to give you any hint whatsoever, I'll just show you. Golf R is still here, but for a good reason. It's going on a trailer tomorrow. S4 is still here, and we did a trade for something that did not come in the United States. So, S6 Avant. You might be thinking, oh, it's just an S6 Avant. Belgium 4.2. But here's the catch of why I did this. 6-speed S6 Avant, which did not come to the United States. The guy that's just leaving right now did the manual swap about 5 years ago with an RS4 transmission. Everything else you can think of that comes with it. There is some blemishes, which sucks right there. And I think on the hatch, added bubbling under the S6 logo. But one just sold on Bring a Trailer with 170,000 miles for I think like 20 grand or north of 20. This one, we don't think the odometer is reading correctly because it is extremely clean and reading 258,000 miles, which doesn't sound right for how absolutely clean this thing is. So, let's see what we can do. We just took this for a drive, and it rides super smooth. I'm talking like rides like it's brand new. I don't think I can explain how clean this interior is without showing you how clean every single surface is. Black Alcantara headliner. No smoking, no rattling, nothing. Just extremely clean S6. I don't think this thing has 259,000 miles on it. We're gonna get it plugged into something before we get rid of it and see if we can actually see the mileage. My feet are sticking into the ground. Right. So yeah, we are now up to 2 4.2 cars, one of which is worth more than the other, obviously. I would say we're up into the $20,000 range at this point. And she's still filming me. Yeah, I'm gonna take some photos and we're gonna get these listed after I park them near each other. I randomly started this trade series thinking that it's gonna work great. We're gonna start with these 2 items and things are gonna go to plan. Clearly in the first episode, you saw that it didn't go to plan whatsoever. I ended up with a Golf R that had a blown clutch. That blown clutch never got fixed, and I ended up trading it for another vehicle that's in this video that is just sitting there. And I've had it posted. I've had messages on it. Hold on. I've had people say, oh, I'll trade you this. I've had people from Kentucky say that they're coming up and they just never showed up. So at this point, I'm sitting at a standstill. The S4 is still sitting in the driveway. The new vehicle is sitting at Mark still. And I've been offering it pretty frequently and it's just not catching. Not like the first trade series where it was like boom, 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 things were done. This is just taking more time than I anticipated. And it's not something that I'm gonna give up on. I'm still going towards the goal of a Audi R8. It's something that I've wanted for I don't know how long. But here is the fear that I have. I am gonna trade one of these vehicles for something that I like, which unfortunately I have already done. The red S4 that I got from Chris that you saw in probably this episode or the last episode has been my daily driver until it snowed out a ton and then I stopped driving it. I thoroughly enjoy a B6 S4, especially one that has the maintenance done that I know is not gonna leave me stranded on the side of the road. So that boils down to, I'll just tell you guys because I'll put it in this video. That boils down to what am I gonna do with the Audi S6? We have traded our Golf R with a blown clutch for a 2002 Audi S6. Not any S6. It is a manual swapped S6 Avant. So in the United States, we never got the Audi S6 in manual, for the wagon at least. And the guy that I got it from, he's had it for the last 5 years and spent X amount of time doing the manual swap, doing the RS4 clutch, doing a lot of stuff. And I've driven it once, one time. And it was amazing. It was one of the best cars that I've probably ever driven as far as how it feels. There's no weird noise, creaking. I know when you drive an Audi, you get all sorts of weird sounds. There was none of that. So that's just sitting until the salt's completely gone. There is a rust bubble on the trunk and I'm not planning on making anything worse. So that leaves us with the S4, the S6, 2015 Fiesta ST I picked up at Copart. I planned on doing a video, never did it. 95 240 SX. That is just sitting at Mark's before we put the body kit on it. And a 2004 GLI. Like I said, that story's for another day, but that's gonna be our project car, if you wanna say that. So maybe by the next video, there's probably gonna be a delay in the trade series like there has been, because there's not a lot of movement, and I hate to say that, and it's a reality of what I do. I buy and sell stuff. I just sold a set of wheels that I've had for 2 years, and the listing was up for 2 years, and the dude drove here from Chicago. So that's just how it works. At some point, somebody is gonna see something they want, they might have something I want, and they're gonna come make a deal. And that's just how these things work. So I wanna give you guys an update. I'm not totally quitting this whole thing. It's just at a standstill. I'm not leaving this series behind. So I will see you guys in the next one, maybe in a new car, maybe the same cars. Maybe I'll just show you a review of the vehicles that I have and show you that I have a S6 that's worth 13 grand that I'm only 2,700 bucks into, or an S4 that somebody put a lot of time into and built, and it's pretty fun. So don't give up on me. This is just the beginning of some sort of trade series, and maybe I'll start a 240 series so you guys can see the Nissan that I got that's still sitting in pieces, but it runs. It runs. The new motor was swapped in, new harness was swapped in, and it runs. So that's a plus. I will see you guys in the next one. Yeah, don't do what I do. It's dumb.